Hello, I'm called Tim, and it's around noon. That means it's time for my live hangout. Sorry that I am a little late, but I was denied internet access. Excuse me. Uh, Sometimes it gets spotty where I am because our lines, I still get it through the phone lines, but it doesn't matter. Our phone lines, our cable lines are very raggedy. They were like that before Hurricane Sandy, and now you can imagine. Sometimes if it rains too hard, our internet access slows down. If it gets too hot, sometimes our power just blows out. Yes, 21st century New York City, believe it or not. Today, I want to talk about the legalization of drugs, specifically marijuana. The governor of New York City has legalized it. The governor of New Jersey has legalized it. Medicinal marijuana. Now, I think everything should be allowed at your body. Of course, if you work for certain institutions or organizations, they have a right to tell you you can't use it. That's fine. But as far as the law is concerned, you should be able to use whatever you want. But it's interesting that as the economy continues to plummet or stagnate or whatever you want to call it, which the economy we know is not real, but that'll be another hangout, maybe tomorrow. Or maybe I've done one on this before. I know I've talked about it. Cities and counties are looking for ways to supplement income. I mean, they're not getting any income tax because people are not working in their counties. Um, a lot of people are homeless, so they're not paying rent. You do get some sales tax, but uh, there's a lot of I should say thieves. There are a lot of people that are just taking what they need. When you have poor and desperate times like this, that's what you get. You also have a lot of food pantries who are giving people food, which means they're not buying it in the supermarket, which means if you're not going to supermarkets, you're not paying taxes or fueling supermarkets or delis or corner stores. So they're legalizing drugs. Now, we all know that cocaine was legal in this country. In the 20th century, you used to be able to go and buy it in a drugstore. States that have legalized marijuana have made lots of money on the taxes from the marijuana, and there's no doubt New York City, New York State is looking to cash in, New Jersey is looking to cash in. Now they're going to put restrictions on it, but we know eventually it's going to be open for all. And if you do it with marijuana, you might as well do it with cocaine, you might as well do it with heroin. And there's actually a world-renowned neurologist, excuse me, who is saying that there are plenty of functional drug addicts, that you can be using a drug and be functional in the world just like you drink coffee and you go to work, wine. I mean, I see so many people drinking alcohol, it's ridiculous. Wine, liquor for breakfast, wine for lunch, wine at dinner, and then they're talking about it's good for their heart. Right, you're an alcoholic. So as they legalize these drugs, the street dealer on the corner and standing in front of the bodegas, standing in front of the alley or on the stoop or wherever they sell it, these people will be unemployed. I personally am excited about this because it's always been in my mind that the street dealer is smart enough to be doing greater things than hanging around and selling drugs. Yes, I know we need the money, but I always thought drugs was the path of least resistance. It's the low-hanging fruit. And a lot of young blacks, I know this because I grew up with a lot of them, they do it because it's there and it's money, it's quick. Sometimes they can't get the good jobs or jobs at all, and I can understand that, especially these days. But there's always other things that you can do. With this technology, you have talents. You can create television shows. You can create uh, music. You can create your own everything. Publishing. I've been publishing books for years on the internet. A lot of them are serious books, so I mean, you know, they don't sell as well, but still, I get to publish them, and people have bought them, so that's good. I also want to say that I may be wrong about this, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I think you guys and you women are brilliant, but you don't have a support system. You don't have a system that sustains you. So you see the drugs there, and you say, "Well, all I gotta do is come outside, and I can sell it, and I can make me $50, $100, whatever." That's gonna go away, and it's going to force you to look into your brilliance and to use your brilliance to sustain yourself. And I think in my community, this is a full-on assault on us. Rent hikes, legalizing drugs, forcing us out of neighborhoods. They're forcing us to either work with each other, become a community again, and use our brilliance, let the talent rise to the top, or die. Because for the last 2 or 3 decades, in my community, the mediocre people have risen to the top, and the scholars and the bright people, the brilliant people, have been just on the tank, just at the bottom. And you mediocre people think that you're smart because you're in the position. You don't still get it that people put you in a position because you're mediocre to destroy the community. Because all communities who are sane support their brightest people, even if they don't listen to them, or that they make sure that they have a place to study, they have a place to do research, they have the money they need, they have the institutions they need. Even if they don't like them, they know they need bright people, and they need their bright people to be thinking, because that's where the ideas come from for a society. That's where the codes of conduct come from for a society. That's where, when things get really rough, societies are renewed through thinkers. So I'm excited. They're going to legalize drugs. We know it's happening. Money's getting tighter and tighter, and those people who are holding out, you just can't hold out. You're going to be forced to do it. Okay, and I would hope that as everything goes like marijuana goes, because marijuana is going to be the first, that you brothers on the corner don't stop selling marijuana, start selling harder drugs, and get caught up in the slave system. The hard chattel slave system, I should say, because it's all a slave system. But get caught up in the prison system, which is a chattel slave system, working for 7 cents an hour for somebody. I hope that you use your brilliance. And look, if you got to go live with your mom, if you got to go live with your pop, your sister, whatever, that's okay. Because another thing we're going to have to learn is to live with each other. There are too many bright people that are homeless in my community. And they're struggling, and they're out there walking around with backpacks, trying to make it where they should be living with a relative. But they're either too embarrassed because they figure they're too old, or the relative doesn't want to, or wants to let them stay there, but bug them about going to get a job that doesn't exist. Look, lean on your relatives if you have to. Exercise your brilliance. They'll come around. Trust me, they'll come around. At least try it. And by the way, while I'm on this subject, we're the only community that does that. Other communities, people come out of college, go back home, lose a job, go back home. Parents take them in. Maybe it's a tight fit, but they sleep on the couch. They help out at home. They do whatever. They start businesses from their parents' home or their siblings' home. But we're the only ones that they can't do that. And I heard a sister tell me, "Hey, black women don't do roommates." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, with rents as high as they are, you got to do roommates. That allows you to be able to pay low rent, share the load with each other, And then you can do all these great things. Start your own business. Start your own blog. Start your own vlog. Start your own whatever you want to start. So I hope that this is another thing that will force us from doing the stupidity, the drug dealing, hand-to-hand drug dealing, and all this other stuff like that. And once we can do that, we're going to see a renaissance like you've never seen. Because I'm telling you, there's brilliance underneath. It just has been repressed. It has been buried in stupidity. But this system, as it breaks down and falls apart, is going to force us to rise. Rise or die. Right? Not ride or die. Rise or die. Anyway, if any of my viewers or anyone in the chat room want to speak, speak now. If I will hold your peace. Going once, going twice. Support this hangout by clicking on the GoFundMe link. Give what you can. There were some little bonuses, little memberships. If you give certain amounts, you get certain things. So check that out. And if you are sane, keep your head up. It's not you that's the problem. It's everyone else.